Okay, sup you chuckle fucks, it's your boy Dark Raku here with What If Issei became, oh yeah, became, whatever, the Dragon Monarch. Now, before I continue on, I know I already did a What If that was basically the Dragon and Shadow Monarch together. Not the fucking point. Basically, I was thinking of doing this for some reason separately from that one. Basically like a side story, or mostly, yeah, I don't fucking know why. I was thinking of this what if way too much, and I was like, why the fuck am I thinking about this? Then I remember someone like asking me if I'm ever gonna do the Frost Monarch, which maybe I do later. Oh no, maybe I don't know. But yeah, so it's because mostly why I was thinking about this is because I was actually, since I was still reading Solo Leveling at that time, or mostly I was still reading Solo Leveling, and I kind of already finished all the way to the newest chapter being 200. I don't know when the next kind of chapter will be. Hope is actually mostly, I don't know what I'm hoping for. Solo Leveling had basically multiple side stories instead of having the main story or whatever. The one of the side stories was basically what if Song, or I think what if not what if Song, but yeah, what if Song basically instead of being the Shadow Monarch, he was a Dragon Monarch. But that was actually fucking cool. I would actually love to actually like read it more in depth with what it calls Song actually being the Dragon Monarch instead of the Shadow Monarch, which it will be actually kind of cool to see, because the Dragon Monarch has different like mostly I want to just see the list of sets of skills of the Dragon Monarch. I know there was a little bit shown in the mostly the webtoon, but I want like the side story of mostly Song in depth of mostly him being the Dragon Monarch. But that's not the point. I also want to see his like personality be a little bit more violent and other things, because that's how most of the Dragon Monarch is kind of shown a little bit in that one like chapter. But yeah, but of course the other side story was basically his son. Um, I don't know why, but I thought his son was supposed to be like the Dragon Monarch, but nah, it's just his son is basically a monarch. A monarch fused with a human who has forgotten the memories of a ruler. Mostly had the power of a ruler, but yeah. Somewhat, one of the fragment lights, but yeah. Which that's quite interesting. I might do that somewhat, maybe in the near future for what if maybe, what they call. Maybe Issei will become the son of mostly, or is the son of Song maybe later on, but not the point. But that's not the point here or there. Let me get into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up. I know I'm rambling on. So yeah. We begin into mostly, well, a brown haired boy. Brown haired boy that's right now broken. Really broken. He is under, well, a tree. He's so broken that he barely can even care about less. You see here, he's actually the hero. The hero of the supernatural world and the human world. But yet, people have seemed to be forgetting about him. Or, that's what he concludes, because, well, he's dying from a crazy disease that he wasn't expecting to even get, because he lost his partner during the war of Triseca and mostly Rizzo and Lucifer. Now, I haven't read the light novel. I'm mostly just copying this kind of little bit of an idea from mostly some of the other what ifs, but yeah. But not much. I'm just kind of saying because I guess that's what happens in the fucking, well, light novel? I don't know. I haven't read it, so yeah. I'm just taking a guess or whatever. Or I'm just making the story up. Fuck it. Well, from some of the what ifs I have been watching, but not the point. I'm actually rambling on right now. Shut the fuck up for a second. But mostly, we go into this kind of boy, well, he lost his partner, but yeah, he got the disease from the fact that he found out from all the girls and people that he believed to trust and believed to wanted to have children with. But yet, they are nothing but cheating whores. And, well, bastards. Mr. Wertman, this boy seems to be already dead inside. Seems to just be looking at the empty abyss. He's about to die. This Wertwell, he's slowly dying. This Wertwell, someone actually appeared in front of him. A creature that looks to be a Grim Reaper, about to actually like cut his head off with a scythe. This is where, well, the boy is too weak to actually run away and escape. Now, this is where, well, the thing was getting closer and closer towards Issei. Or yes, this is none other than Issei Hayatu. This is where, well, The brownish hair boy has lightish kind of brownish hair. His eyes were too dullish and palish. And this is where, well, his whole entire body was too weak and can't even fight back. But yeah. Now, he did die during the whole battle with Charseca. Charseca did manage to destroy his body, but this is where his body is made out of great red cells, or mostly like the scales and even Orpheus' power. And the reason why he's dying, even though he lost his partner, is from Dragon's Fall and the evil pieces. They're kind of fighting with the draconic energy and the kind of demonic energy, destroying his body. This is where, well, he's looking at mostly this Grim Reaper looking creature. It does have a kind of like skeleton face. This is where, well, it's walking towards him and about to cut his head off. This is where, well, Issei is about to see death. The scythe is getting closer. Closer and closer and closer. This is where, well, the scythe actually managed to hit Issei in the neck. This is where, well, but instead of cutting it, it actually didn't even hurt him. But this is where something happens. Something appeared right in front of him. A screen. No. It looked to be a screen. But it had like a demanding tone. Instead of like, would you like to become a player? You are a player now. This is where, well, but it changed to, you are the Dragon Monarch. Mostly Successor. This is where, well, mostly Issei looks at this confusedly. But for some reason, seems to have a different look into him, mostly angry and annoyed. This is where, well, he thought he was going to die, get rid of this world, but he was now enraged to believe that he is now someone's pawn vessel or whatever the hell it is. This is where he doesn't want to be a slave again. This is where, well, he was enraged and angry. His eyes went slick red in an instant. His hair became a scarlet ruby red. This is where, well, his skin entirely, even though it was pale, he kind of grew claws from his hand. And this is where he kind of swung it straight towards the skeleton Grim Reaper looking thing and destroyed him in an instant. This is where, well, he felt like his body was kind of mostly feeling different. This is where something appeared around him. A red kind of flash of glowing light. He didn't know what was happening, but this is where a portal appeared underneath him. And this is where, well, he teleported into that portal, leaving 8 broken pawn pieces. It looks to be clawed, and seems some of them were destroyed. Because he seems to just actually claw himself before teleporting. He just ripped some pieces out of his body. This is where, well, he didn't know why, but he needed to. He wanted to survive. To see who the bastard, who the fucker wants him to be a vessel, slave, or something like that. But he also wants revenge. Revenge against those bitches, those sluts, those assholes. Everyone should dare not, well, shouldn't dare make a hero, a villain, a hunter, a monarch. This is where, well, we go into a time skip. A time skip later on. A very, mostly, a wild time skip. Mostly this time skip isn't actually like 3 years or any of that things. It's mostly a couple months later. Someone appeared back into this dimension. A red, well, mostly this, not red gate. Mostly there was a gate that appears somewhere far away from anything. It seems to be in an island. But this is where, well, this red gate appears over the island. This is where, well, it broke in an instant. And of course, humans just see this, but were confused until mostly their ship was destroyed instantly. It was basically an American ship, and it was instantly just blown out of the way. This is where it was blasted straight to hell. This is where, well, mostly America was going crazy because they had lost a very expensive ship, and they didn't know what happened. Also, a submarine was somewhere near the Titanic, and they did get blown up also. Not the point. Yes, did I just, what's it called, mostly put, what's it called, the, a wild news about, like, submarine that went to go find Titanic? Yes, because fuck you, I can do whatever in the story. Not the point. Yes, that submarine got blasted straight to hell also. But not the point. We go back into the figure. The figure seems to have red ruby eyes. Kind of like scarlet a little bit, but they're kind of ruby or scarlet, you can't really tell. This where they're slicked a little bit. His hair was kind of a reddish ruby kind of, well, long a little bit, but this is where he had into kind of a ponytail. Kind of looks like, what's it called, 20-foot bong, with mostly like, this 20-foot bong. He basically had his hair pretty long into a ponytail somewhat. And it was somewhat brownish, but somewhat scarlet ruby red also. You can barely see his eyes because they were covered with his bangs. This is where, well, he looks into this world. Now, of course, his outfit seems to contain mostly dapping of armor a little bit. This is where, well, he looks around kind of confused. Well, he's flying up in the air without wings or any of that. He seems to be floating. This is where he landed on the island. This is where, well, he felt a presence behind him appeared. When he turns around, he sees none other than a black-haired beauty. Her hair was pitch black. This is where her eyes, when she opens them, were mostly a palish, well, mostly like a platinum blue color. Yeah, kind of platinum blue. But this is where they became purple in an instant. A very darkish and malicious purple. This is where, well, her body, or mostly, she had a very nice, voluptuous body figure, which makes anyone blush. But this is where, well, she basically was wearing a blue kind of like shirt that was apparently kind of containing her bust, and a blue kind of long sleeve coat over it. This is where she had kind of like these kind of brownish shorts that can barely seem to also contain her kind of thighs within her because it looks want to rip. And this is where, well, she also kind of had like these sandals. This is where her clothes changes in an instant towards mostly wearing kind of a blackish kind of shirt, a blackish coat, and this is where, well, she also kind of wear mostly, well, not blackish coat, mostly like blackish jacket, and of course, well, kind of, yeah, no, it's a coat, yeah. This is where, well, mostly a kind of blackish pants and blackish kind of dressing shoes. This is where, well, she kind of glares at the person who actually appeared on the island. This is where, well, the person looks at the person with such an amused gaze. Of course, this is where you can barely see his eyes, but you can see it from the little kind of the bangs kind of was covering up, but you can barely see his eyes, but they're glowing. This is where he shows to have a vicious grin because of teeth. Mostly his teeth are quite sharp. This is where both of them are just glancing at each other, and of course, well, no one makes a move until, well, basically they both just stare at each other for a while, a long time, until mostly, well, the person decides to bow down in front of the kind of female. And this is where, well, he says, wow, what a beautiful female you are. This is where, well, the person blushes a little bit. This is where she then kind of coughs and says, what is the Dragon Monarch doing here in this world? Then this is where the person says, Dragon Monarch. Ah, yes, I am the successor of the Dragon Monarch. But that is not the point. Oh no, what is the Shadow Monarch successor doing here? This is where, well, she seems surprised, and this is where, well, kind of surprised, and this is where, well, she just shakes her head off and says, I'm being here because, well, I need to stop anyone like you from appearing and trying to destroy this world. This is where, well, the Dragon Monarch successor kind of says, destroy this world? Not entirely. I'm not trying to destroy this world. I'm just here. You know, this used to be my previous timeline before becoming the successor. So I just came back to see people, or, I guess you can say just take revenge and then go into another universe. I'm not here to destroy the universe. Seems too boring. This is where, well, mostly the person in her eyes and says, who exactly are you? This is where the Dragon Monarch successor kind of looks at, well, the kind of female, and this is where he grins and says, my name? Well, my name is... This is where, well, he then says, what is your name, beautiful? This is where, well, she kind of blushes a little bit, and she never expected this Dragon Monarch successor, or it could be the previous Dragon Monarch. But it seems this Dragon Monarch can be gentle, mostly like a gentleman style, but at the same time, he's quite good looking in her opinion. He seems to be 6'5", a little bit taller from her height. She's actually like 6'3". This is where, well, she then says, well, as I am the Shadow Monarch successor, my name is... This is where, well, both of them just look at each other and nodded. This is where, well, we go into a time skip later on. This is where, well, the same person appears in a different, mostly, place. Far away from the island, but it's been a couple months since a meeting, mostly since the two people met, both Shadow and Dragon Monarch. But he didn't just appear in this mostly other town, or mostly another way as a town, but it's in Japan. Japan, in a very small town that's named Kuo. It's been a while. It's been a long time since he has been here. But this is where, well, he thinks to himself, thinking, I did kind of kick the shit of Great Red. What should I do? Oh, you know what I should do? Is beat the shit out of that damn dirty blonde fucker. Maybe I should fucking make him beg for his life. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. He has a sinister grin on his face until he then realized, no, I really would love to make him beg for his life, but I can't kill him. I made a promise to someone. Whatever. Listen, well, we go into, him disappearing, but what happened towards mostly him and Great Red was mostly a scuffle. Pretty much Great Red thought that he was a big shot against this person until he literally got fucking whooped, dragon handled by this other person. He then realized that this person is none other than, but this is where, he kind of just doesn't know what happened towards the boy. It changed him. This person is no longer the same person that he met a while ago, that he saved him and Orpheus, but yet this person is different. He feels a little bit like D-Drake, but no, not really. Instead, D-Drake has actually been reincarnated also. Well, not reincarnated, mostly has became a Sacred Gear back again, but he seemed to be rebooted. Mostly Michael managed to kind of, save a part of D-Drake, or he had a part of D-Drake, and managed to put him into another Sacred Gear. But yeah, Great Red doesn't know why, but he knows that mostly Michael is quite dumb for actually doing that. Since there's already peace, he doesn't know why Michael even did something like that. But he doesn't care. This person, the person that he just fought a while ago and got his ass whooped and handed to him in a fucking golden platter, was way stronger than any Sacred Gear user, and can probably be even rivaling that of the true Longitis, or maybe just surpassing all his forms back then when he had D-Drake. He can even surpass probably Triseca, and probably just a couple of just percentage of his power. This being is so strong that when he kind of asked who exactly he was, the person just says that he said his name but statics. But this is where, mostly he then kind of said that he was the Dragon Monarch successor. Of course, Great Red never heard of the Dragon Monarch, but he has now heard of what the Dragon Monarch can potentially have, and whooped the shit of him. Also kind of whooped the shit of him in a dragon form that was bigger than his. Truly whooped the fuck out of him. He thought he was the strongest, but really he was absolutely just a pathetic ant towards this person. He doesn't even know why this person even went back. If he literally succeeded gods in that world and succeeded his power, does that mean he also succeeded the powers of mostly the outer gods? Which the person did kind of nodded, but he only said that he would be able to succeed against any of those gods. This is where he has not tested out his power, but he will test it out later in a date where, he might come back, or probably not. Probably after he kind of probably had a child. This is where the person said. Which Great Red is surprised that mostly the person still wants to kind of have a child. But one child. He then asked what about his harem. This is where, even though Great Red already knew about what happened towards the harem, he wanted to check on mostly this person about 3 months later, but of course found out that, the person was no longer into the world of the living. He wasn't even in Hades' realm, but this person was gone. He found the evil pieces and decided to check on the memories of the girls, realized they were lustful and kind of too down bad, and they were for the street, literally. This is where, because he found other multiple guys that were sleeping with these girls, and they had kind of like basically their dreams in the gutters half the time with these guys. Mostly he realized that one of them was basically the White Dragon Emperor, Vali Lucifer, and the others were basically another dragon user, but this time being Viltra's kind of user being Sanji I fucking forgot his last name. Wait. His name was Genjiro Sanji, and yet he decides to betray his kind of best friend because he wanted some girls. Those were, well, the dragon god himself was disgusted at the fact, but was kind of confused in where this person was at. He kind of wanted to basically make this person his successor. Just because mostly there's two different orifices. There's orifice and then there's Lina or something like that. Lina is another part of orifice, but mostly kind of have the same, but yeah, mostly just training, but yeah. Orifice is mostly in the human world, but that's not the point. He also did realize that Orifice seems to betray Issei's love because she also cheated with mostly Vali. This is where, well, the dragon god Great Red was disgusted at mostly Orifice in her actions. This is where, well, he then after those 3 months later, and after a couple months they're mostly passing by after meeting this person and kicking the shit of him again mostly the same day, but he then realized that Orifice is so screwed because she just messed with something that she shouldn't have. She should have been loyal, but then again, that emotionless dragon should probably start running for the goddamn hills. Should probably go to the outer world because mostly this person can chase her down into mostly infinity. Will probably chase her down. And besides, his power seems to be even surpassing infinity. Seems to be able to be somewhat infinity, but much stronger. That's where, well, he doesn't know what a dragon monarch is, but he now knows kind of the definition of anyone that pisses off the dragon monarch is fucked. But yeah, we then go into the kind of person arriving in Kuo, mostly being on the air. Then he floated down and kind of landed down. Of course, he has mostly, well, clothing. He decided to change his mostly armor towards mostly basic as clothing, like casual as clothing, because he needs to kind of wear casual as clothing because mostly his, well, the person that he promised not to hurt that many humans or kill them at all, she did kind of tell him to kind of, well, wear clothing that actually seems to be quite normal in this world and start wearing fucking armor. This is not the hunter world, not the forgotten world, whatever the hell it's called. And this is where, well, mostly the person scoffs and then sighs and says, fine. This is where the person basically kind of changes mostly armor in the alley towards mostly, well, kind of looking like this. He has a black button-up shirt with somewhat black button-up. It kind of does have a mostly scarlet kind of Eastern dragon kind of symbol around the kind of button-up shirt. It's kind of a black long sleeve kind of button-up shirt, but yeah. This is where, well, he also has kind of like these blue jeans. Well, yeah, kind of, well, blue jeans. This is where, well, he also has kind of black dressing shoes. And this is where, well, his hair looks like this. His hair and his eyes look like this. They're kind of brownish and kind of like this scarlet ruby red, somewhat, even though it kind of looks pink. And his eyes are kind of just red. Also, his eyebrows are kind of like brownish, but not the point. This is where it's no longer slick, just red. This is where, well, he then kind of gets out of mostly the alley and just kind of button up his shirt, trying to fix it, and seems perfect. This is where, well, he decides to kind of get towards mostly a school that he has forgotten for a while. He knows that he's a third year now, but it's been a while. He's thinking of just going to see it, but also be there to beat the shit out of a pathetic weakling, evil dragon host user. But he'll probably be nice to see it. He wants to know if his two used to be idiotic friends are still perverts and weakling. If they are, then you were gonna have to show them what's good to those son of a bitches. He doesn't know if, well, he does know that those motherfuckers did betray him, but in a different way, but not the point. I will mention that later, but this is where, well, he then kind of gets towards mostly, Towards the school. This is where, well, he gets to the large kind of school that's mostly a gender equality kind of school. Somewhat, not really. Still dominated by most females, and there's barely any guys. Well, there is guys, but not the point. This is where, well, before getting to the kind of school, he finds out a battle is happening. A battle that seems to be supernatural versus human. But yeah, it seems to be this guy with kind of blackish hair. Well, kind of blackish, yeah, blackish hair. And this is where, well, he's fighting against mostly this dirty blonde hair person that's right now not using a sacred gear, but using its demonic strength. This is none other than Sanji. Genichiro Sanji right now fighting against a black hair person. The black hair person does have mostly, well, what's it called? Does have kind of somewhat blondish hair, a little bit, mostly some highlight. But this is where, well, they're like near his, like down near his bangs, but yeah. This is where, well, not that kind of big, the blonde hair, but this is where, well, he does have kind of these, kind of yellowish eyes. They're kind of hazelish. And this is where, well, he's dodging a kind of kick from Sanji. A very powerful kick that he wasn't expecting the, what's it called, president of the school to actually fight him for. But he only is fighting against Sanji. It's because Sanji kind of took a little scuffle with him seriously. This is where, well, the person was about to kick pretty hard in the face until mostly one of his friends managed to grab a, what's it called, like wooden stick bat and try to like knock the kind of president out of the way from actually kicking his friend. This is where, well, the kick did not hit, well, his friend, but instead it hit the, what's it called, hit the bat person, knocking him out of the way. This is where he had kind of lightish, kind of palish, purplish hair that got knocked to the ground. This is where, well, he was kind of, well, mostly dazed and kind of blurry his face because that kick was pretty hard. This is where, well, mostly the guy with kind of blackish hair and, of course, goldenish, well, bangs. And this is where mostly hazelish eyes gets angry and says, "You son of a bitch! What the hell was that for? He was trying to just get you away. Why the hell are you attacking us that serious? Why your kicks and punches are different? Why do they hurt a lot? You're not even that strong." This is where, well, mostly, well, Sanji Genichiro kind of just says, "Oh, I'm not that strong, Issei. You guys are nothing but pathetic weaklings, humans, that dare believe that they should not respect someone like me. I'm greater than you people." This is where, well, three of his other friends are behind him, and this is where they kind of also have weapons. They're not like their friend who actually doesn't need a weapon to actually fight against this person. Because he believes that mostly fists would be enough to kind of fight against this person. Fisticuffs, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly, Sanji was about to walk towards him and actually killed him fully. Until mostly he does sense his, like, master appearing behind him, but he didn't really care. And mostly that person seems to be, well, not master, mostly he sensed other people coming, mostly girls. And this is where, well, he was going to use this dragon hormones to actually make the girls kind of agree with him to kind of killing these people. But before doing that, mostly Sanji then hears the guy saying, "You fucker, hey asshole, what are you doing to paying attention? You spacing out? Well, you're nothing but a pathetic weakling. You know what? You know who was better? What's it called? One of the perverted trio leader. Who was his name again? Oh yeah, Issei Haidu was better than your ass. Even though he was a pervert, at least he was a much cooler person than you ever will be, jackass." This is where, well, this is where Sanji, before kind of like looking backwards to see the girls, he only kind of glanced at them, but this is where when he turns around, he had a murderous kind of gaze upon his face. This is where, well, he remembers his old friend that he kind of fucked him over, but this is where, well, he then kind of smirked and says, "Oh really? You think he was better than me? Well, you can see him in hell, why don't you?" This is where Sanji disappears in an instant, superhuman kind of speed, and actually appearing right in front of the person, about to kick him right in the face, taking off his head. But this is where before the person can actually get his head kind of taken off, someone grabs him from the back of the collar, pulls him away from mostly Sanji's kick, and Sanji's kick just hit the ground, cracking it. This is where, well, the three of the other guys were actually also put somewhere else, but this is where they were confused, because they were now further away from mostly their friend, but their friend is right now having their collar kind of grabbed. This is where, well, The person who was kind of wanting the eyes to see that ground kick the ground, mostly, yeah, the kick the ground, kind of breaking it, and this is where he was wanting his eyes to the speed and the power, but this is where he was even more confused because he saw his literally light flash between his eyes, but this is where he was confused. He then looks up to see a man who looks to be 6'5". This is where he also seemed to have reddish, kind of scarlet ruby hair. This is where, well, his eyes seem to be ruby, kind of scarlet red eyes, and, well, he does have brownish highlights around his hair, but not much. Or mostly a patch, but that's not the point. He also does have a ponytail. This is where he's wearing a black kind of mostly button-up shirt that kind of has a mostly red kind of scarlet ruby, well, not scarlet, red ruby one. It's mostly, there's two dragons. One is kind of scarlet and the other one's blue, like a sapphire blue. One is ruby and the other one is a sapphire blue kind of dragon, Eastern dragons that has on a pattern on his like mostly shirt. There's also a purple one, but mostly looks to be a Western. The two is Eastern and one is a Western dragon, but yeah, on his back. This is where, well, he's confused, but this is where, well, he sees the person right now holding his collar pretty easily, and he seems to be quite powerful because he can easily hold them with one hand. This is where, well, the person also seems to be strong, physically strong, because he doesn't look too big, but he seems to be strong, kind of like lean, because his muscles are kind of showing through his like button-up shirt, not much. But this is where, well, he has kind of blue jeans, or not blue jeans, or actually black dressing pants. Now, I'm just gonna change it to black, but not the point. This is where, well, he also does have like dark kind of mostly dressing shoes, like black dressing shoes. But yeah, this is where, well, he then looks towards mostly the person. This is where, well, the person who is none other than Genichi's Sanji, and Sanji was confused. This is where, well, when he looks up, he gets a knee straight towards his stomach, launching him straight, or not a knee, mostly a left kick straight to the side of his like stomach, his like left waist. This is where he gets kicked so hard that he broke some ribs and launched him straight into basically a wall. This is where, well, the person widened his eyes and never expecting someone to kick Sanji so hard. This is where, well, the person looks down and says, "Hey, were you talking about, what was his name? You were talking about Issei Haidu and how he was strong, right? This is where, and he was much better than Sanji. Was that you, right?" This is where, well, mostly the person nodded slowly. Interesting. Well, you can see the true battle between, well, that loser right there against me. And then you can, well, mostly change your opinion later, but not the point. Is where, well, he stopped crouching down and looked back up and seeing Sanji right now with a fierce, angry look. Even though he's a little bit hurt and having a little bit of blood kind of falling down his like mostly like lip. This is where he's angry at the person and right now in a kind of balance breaker somewhat. This is where black armor and mostly a black kind of armor helmet appear also. He also kind of has these tentacles and this is where, well, he's angry at the person in front of him. The person in front of him looks at mostly Genichiro Sanji with an uncaring look. This is where, well, Genichiro Sanji rushes at mostly this person with blinding speed, but this person seems to not even care and decides to backhand him with mostly his like fist closed. And of course, backhanded Sanji in the face so hard, smashing his helmet off his face, launching him away, mostly launching him to the left side. This is where, well, Sanji falls onto the ground and scraped mostly his armor, but it didn't break fully, unlike that backhand towards his face, kind of destroying his helmet. This is where he gets up and kind of glares at the person, even though he has a red cheek right now appear on his, like, mostly right side. This is where, well, he feels like his face was shattered in an instant, but luckily, thanks to the, hit of, the armor, he was kind of fine, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly the person kind of just, well, Sanji gets up and kind of glares at the person. This is where the person looks at mostly Sanji with basically an uncaring look, or mostly an uncaring kind of gaze. And this is where, well, he then looks up to see multiple girls. There are mostly the candle girls, the swimming team kind of girls, and other types of girls being there, mostly behind Sanji. Sanji was about to use his mostly dragon hormones to actually make the girls kind of fight against this person. He wasn't thinking of this person going to beat their asses, but this is where, well, before he does that, he gets his face grabbed in an instant by the person. Now, of course, he can feel it's like these sharp claws appear on his face. They seem to be piercing onto his face, and then he gets his head smashed to the ground in an instant. This is where, well, mostly everyone in the whole kind of crowd hears this crack in the background. Even though they heard multiple cracks from this person, it seems a person with kind of reddish hair, and of course it seemed to be 6'5", seems to be beating the shit out of Sanji pretty fucking well. Now, of course, is where, well, one of the guys who had kind of palish purple hair kind of appears and think, what happened? This is where, well, they look at him and sees a black eye. This is where, well, they kind of say, dude, are you okay? No, I can barely see. Sorry guys, I tried to hit him, but I couldn't. This is where the guy with kind of blackish hair kind of is worried for his friend, kind of says, dude, what's it called? Mostly his name is Murasaki, are you okay? This is where, well, Murasaki says, I'm fine, man. Dude, you don't need to worry about me, man. I'm fine. I can barely see from my right eye, though. This is where, well, not right eye, left eye. This is where, well, they say mostly the blackish hair dude is right now in fury and anger against one of his friends getting hurt by the fucking blondish, well, dirty blonde hair motherfucker. And he's hoping for the guy with kind of like ruby, or mostly scarlet hair, scarlet kind of ruby hair. And of course, mostly kind of having some brown patches on his head to beat the shit out of what's it called, Sanji. This is where, well, he's seeing how this person is right now mocking Sanji and beating the fuck out of him. But he's hoping that mostly Sanji dies for the fact that he beat the hell out of one of his friends. Just because mostly out of some mostly scuffle and basically talking trash towards Sanji. He wasn't expecting Sanji to get too angry. This is where, well, Sanji tries to get up and trying to attack mostly this person by actually sending a powerful knee, but this is where, well, that powerful knee never made it towards Issei, or not anything, mostly this person's face, because mostly the knee was instantly destroyed. Mostly the foot, or mostly the armor that had the knee, got stopped by one finger, and this person just taps on mostly the knee, destroying the armor. This is where just blowing it off from mostly his knee part. This is where he felt like this pain also appear in his like knee. This is where, well, he falls down with one knee kind of, well, one knee down to the ground, kneeling in front of this person. This is where Sanji was glaring at the person, but this is where the person seemed to have an amused kind of look and saying, "You're such a pathetic evil dragon." Having Viltra as her mostly sacred gear is quite pathetic. Such a pathetic dragon like you, even though mostly Viltra or Vitra or whatever his name is supposed to be one of the dragon kings, yet he's supposed to be an evil dragon, and yet he's so pathetic. Or is it his host that's quite pathetic? Who knows? Who really fucking knows? We don't know, do we? Actually, I do. This is where he fucking kicks the hell out of Sanji in the middle of the chest, right now shattering his armor and pushing him straight towards the other 5 dudes. This is where all of them manage to move out of the way, and this is where, well, mostly Sanji smashes on the ground, and of course he's coughing with a little bit of blood. This is where, well, he's on the kind of cement. He did kind of just skid, mostly kind of just slide on the cement. This is where, well, all 5 dudes wind their eyes seeing Sanji easily just get mopped. This is where, well, the red-haired man actually kind of appear behind the kind of like 5 like dudes, and this is where, well, they look up to see, well, the person. This is where the person is right now just looking at them and looking at mostly Sanji, looking back at them, looking back at Sanji. This is where the guy with blackish hair looks at Issei, or well, not Issei, not Issei, but mostly says, "Who exactly are you? Actually, I don't care who exactly are you. I want to kill him. I want to do it with my own hands. Please let me kill him." This is where, well, the person narrows his eyes at, well, this blackish hair boy. And this is where, well, he then grins, and mostly a very evilish grin appears on his face. This is where, well, mostly everyone got a nerve from it. Even the 4 other dudes, even the guy that can barely see. This is where, well, the person with reddish hair says, "Oh, but you can't kill him. You see here, you're too weak for being a human, and even a human without a sacred gear. You're still too weak. You don't have magic. Well, you do, but it's mostly quite interesting. You're not even a mage. But that is not the point here. You're too weak. You can't kill him. This is where, well, most of the person says, let me kill him. I don't care what I have to do. Give me something. I'll kill him with something, and then I'll sacrifice myself. Do you want me to do that? This is where, well, the person says, well, I am not the Shadow Monarch, so I can't really use a person who's already dead for me. So how about this? This is where, well, mostly the red kind of figure kind of appear his left hand with mostly this like goldenish blackish gem appear. And this is where, well, mostly the person says, what is this? This is a sacred gear. Well, it's similar to that of Genichiro, Genshinoro, whatever the fuck, Sanji. Sanji, mostly similar to that Sanji sacred gear. You see here, Sanji's sacred gear is one of the 5 mostly dragon kings, which he became an Evo dragon, which that's what he has. His sacred gear is an Evo dragon. Now, of course, this sacred gear is also supposedly an Evo dragon. It could be not. It could be one of the strongest Evo dragons, and you can become the leader of the Evo dragons. But before I give you this, you will have to follow me for whatever missions I give you. And your friends will also get sacred gears. Would you let them have sacred gears and do the bidding of someone powerful, much stronger than you? Or would you kind of deny this? Well, before he even kind of finished his sentence, the person already grabbed the sacred gear and an instant from Issei, or not Issei, but yeah, never mind. Mostly from this person, and this is where, well, he grabs the sacred gear and says, I don't care. I'd rather kill that son of a bitch. He hurted my friend. He gets angry just because he's so arrogant and cocky. I don't care. I'll kill him right now. And this is where, well, he grabbed with his right hand the kind of gem. And this is where, well, mostly this like sacred gear appear on his like right hand. Mostly looking like this. So this is the gauntlet that appears on his right hand. A black gauntlet with mostly a purple gem, but yet kind of having kind of this yellowish kind of color appear. But yeah. This is where, well, mostly after that appearing on his like with right hand, this is where he felt this power and immense kind of powerful strength. His eyes became much ferocious yellow. His hair started kind of glowing with his yellowish highlights instead of being in front of his face. This is where, well, he then felt much ferocious, bloodthirsty, and murderous. This is where he didn't care. He rushes at mostly Sanji, and when Sanji managed to get up, his face was mostly smashed in by a fist. A left hook straight towards mostly Sanji's face, right now launching him straight towards down the road again. This is where, well, mostly the concrete road. This is where Sanji tries to get up and say, what the? That power. It feels just like Crush. This is where, well, mostly the person has a vicious grin appear on his face. This is where he says, I'm gonna fucking enjoy ripping you apart, you son of a bitch. This is where his voice is now becoming distorted. Remember me, asshole? I'm going to fucking rip you apart. No Sarork is this time saving your ass. But this time, it seems to be a part of his voice, but also appeared from the gauntlet. It seems mostly the humans seem to be mimicking the same voice that appears. This is where, well, mostly Sanji winds his eyes and says, that can't be. You were destroyed. You were killed. You can't be alive. Crunch. This is where Sanji screams out. This is where, well, mostly some people who are from the supernatural wind their eyes after hearing Crunch. And yes, this human seems to be having the sacred gear Crunch. This is where, well, the 4 other guys look at mostly with the red hair. The red hair says, I'll give you sacred gears, but they will also be similar to that of the Evo dragon. Do you think you'll be able to hold in the bloodthirsty, murderous attempts that you might have to give upon people? This is where, well, all of them raise their hands, except for the purple hair dude. He seems to be kind of shaking and nervous. Would this change his life? Would this kind of, I should say, hurt his kind of girlfriend? This is where he doesn't know what to do. This is where, well, he then gets a phone call from mostly another person. And this person was kind of just going, yo, Mariasuki, Marashiki, or whatever the hell your name is. Huh? Oh, it's what was your name? Kuro, dumbass. This is where, well, sorry about that, Kuro. This is where, well, not really, my name is not Kuro, but I'm just giving you a fucking false name because, well, I'm somewhat of a hacker. Not the point. You did tell me to kind of check on your girlfriend to see what she's been doing all those kind of nights, right? This is where, well, Marashiki said, yeah. Well, I found out that your girlfriend has kind of been cheating on you. What? This is where the person was in their eyes, but of course, his mostly left eye is hurting a lot. This is where, well, mostly the person says, yup, found out mostly during some cameras, and found out mostly some other way, but this is where, well, your girlfriend been cheating on you with mostly someone named Sanji Genichid, or whatever his goddamn name is, whatever. But yeah, she also been cheating on you with some other dudes. Let's see. Mostly a guy named Kiba Yuta, and then also a guy named, Noah. This is where, well, he widened his eyes. Noah used to be a third year in mostly Kuo, but now went to, was a Kuo College. This is where, well, he is widening his eyes and says, ugh. He falls down to the ground, and this is where his phone was about to drop in an instant, which it did, and this is where, well, the person says, hello? Hello? Son of a bitch. I knew this was going to happen. I wish I should have asked for you to pay my, what's it called? Well, pay me in the bank. But before anything else happened, before he hangs up, the person with reddish hair then already gave out some sacred gears to the others to see how they would react. And noticed the despair from the other dude, the purplish hair dude, the palish purplish hair dude. This is where he walks up to mostly the phone, grabs it with mostly his sharp claws, and this is where he then says, yes. His voice was deep but menacing at the same time. This is the first time he ever talks in front of anyone. This is where, well, everyone kind of got unnerved, but that's not the point. Well, not the first time. This is mostly the kind of a couple times that people are hearing it. And this is mostly this person's first time hearing this voice. He doesn't even know what happened. He said, is this still Murder? No, it's not. My name? Well, the name is unimportant right now. And I guess you don't want to give out your name neither. But that's not the point. You're quite an interesting hacker, aren't you? How about this? I'll pay you double and more triple, or however much mostly Mariomi gave you. Murasuki or whatever his goddamn name. Yeah? To hack upon some people. Don't worry, I'll send the money right now. Give me your bank transaction. This is where, well, the person did it. This is where, well, the person pulls out his own phone. It's Scarlet Ruby kind of phone. This is where, well, some ruby gems, but not the point. He also seemed to have dragon symbols appear on his phone, but yeah, we're not dragon symbols, but not the point. This is where he transferred the action, and this is where, well, mostly the currency, this is where the person wanders and says, holy damn. Okay, what do you want then? This is where, well, the person says, oh, I'll call you on this phone. Mostly I also put a phone number in that transaction. I'll call you later. I will ask you for some stuff, but right now I'm in public, so I can't, right now, kind of talk to you. Mostly the person says, fine, whatever you need. You know what? I'm all ears. This is where, well, the person grins and says, good. Hope I made a good transaction with a good hacker. But not the point. This is where he hangs up and gives the phone back towards mostly Murasuki. This is where, well, Murasuki grabs the phone, but also grabs mostly the person's kind of like hand. This is where, well, the person says, give me a sacred gear. I'm going to kill those son of a bitches. This is where, well, his eyes are right now burning with purplish color. Of course, like his magic is kind of ripping from his body. And this is where, well, the person seems to be able to kind of give out a little bit of mostly similar to that of Viltra's kind of power. This is where, well, despair and other things. This is where, well, he said, or mostly the person says, well, I can give you a sacred gear, but your power seems to be much more powerful and almost related to that of, well, the sacred gear that mostly Sanji has. How about this? I'll give you Sanji's sacred gear, and then you can go murder Sanji. This is where, well, the person wanted his eyes, and then he said, sure. This is where, well, his eyes were still bruised, his mostly swollen kind of like left eye, until mostly his left eye was now healed in an instant by the person. This is where, well, the person walked away, and this is where, well, He then says stop. He said in a very commanding tone, and this is where all mostly evil dragons before about to like rip Sanji apart. Stopped in an instant. Sanji was confused. Well, this is where his head was grabbed by mostly the guy with kind of like blackish, but now having kind of golden veins appears on his face. This is where, well, on his hair mostly. This is where, well, Sanji spits at mostly the person. The person just dodges to the mostly his head to the right, and this is where, oh, mostly this person says, so, how much pain do you want to suffer, Genichiro Sanji? This is where, well, Sanji says, screw you. You know if you hurt me, I am a part of the devil faction. If you hurt me, the devils will go after you. You know, I'm a part of Sona's barrage. If I die, Sona would know about this, and then she would contact her sister. You know her sister's the most powerful. Shut up. He gets slapped in the fucking face. I don't give a damn if she's basically the fucking, what's it called, family lineage. Well, if she basically has her sister being a part of the goddamn true Satan faction, or mostly the old Satan faction, I don't give a damn. You know what I give a damn? That Sacred Gear of yours seems to not be online with you entirely. Maybe I can find some information when I take it away from you. Sanji looks at him with confused eyes until mostly the person shoves his hand into Sanji. This is where he's coughing up more blood. This is where, well, the person says, hold him still. This is where the other evil dragon smasher grab him. This is where, oh, Sanji says, no, you can't. If you rip that out of me, I would die. You would face Seraphot life body. This is where, well, mostly the person says, I don't give a damn if I have to fight against her. You see here, Sanji, if you want to know my true name, you see here, my name is Issei Haidu. Used to be Issei Haidu. Now my real name, well, it doesn't matter for you, does it? Well, my new real name is just Issei, but that's not the point. Sanji right now winding his eyes and never expecting to see Issei again. But this time Issei is ripping the secret gear out of him. This is where, well, he feels mostly losing the power of mostly the Black Dragon. This is where, well, the Black Dragon secret gear was ripped out of him, all 5 pieces. This is where, well, mostly Sanji falls down to the ground, bleeding from his chest, but his chest was healed instantly. Mostly from the fact Issei did that. This is where, well, Issei walked up to the purplish haired person. The person kind of looks at the sacred gear and says, what do I do? I'm gonna shove it inside you and good luck in getting used to your new host, or mostly new partner. Now, remember this, dragons are partners, not slaves. If you treat this dragon wrong, I will come back and rip it out of you. This is where the person nodded. This is where, well, that also goes for the 4 of you. This is where, well, all of them nodded. Now, Crumb Crutch and mostly, what was it called? What was her name again? This is where the person says the name is, my name is Noctis. Then, Noctis, hope you can have fun with the fact that you're gonna, well, be the leader of this group. Of all the evil dragons here. So, take care of your group. Other than that, I gotta be kind of, well, I'm thinking of going inside to the school. Also, if you want to know who I am, well, I used to be a part of the school, kind of. Does it work? Well, the person says, what do you mean part of the school? Well, you want to know my name? Easy. My name used to be Issei Haidu. I no longer go with the whole Hyodo name, but my name's just Issei. Or you can also call me, well, you can also call me Antares, but that's not the point, or Antares, or whatever you like to call me. But I am basically someone powerful. And now you're going to have to listen to me. Don't worry, I won't make you do any stupid things. This is where, well, mostly every evil dragon who kind of just turned into an evil dragon thanks to the sacred gear, kind of wind their eyes. Even more Motosuke, who was actually still kind of trying to talk to Filter, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into mostly, well, everyone there winding their eyes. This is where, well, he says, well, other than that, I'll be going inside the school. I should be just going inside. This is where, well, Issei started walking into the school and just kind of walking away. Now, of course, he knows that the president might die, and who will be the next president, who knows? He doesn't give a damn. We go into now Issei Haidu, or now known as Issei, going into the school. Yes, I've been saying it kind of a couple times. That's because I've been fucking up. Basically, I'm a bit tired, but not too much. I'm awake fully, but basically it's a night, mostly somewhere around 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I've been fucking up. Whatever. But we go into mostly Issei walking towards mostly the president's, mostly not the president's office, but just into an old classroom that he was in a while ago. But this is where, well, he doesn't know if his name is still considered to be in the, what's it called, or not an old classroom, mostly his first hour classroom before he left and disappeared from this world. This is where, well, he knows that he's a third year, and he was here when he was third year, but not the point. This is where, well, he gets to the class that he was to be at, and this is where, well, before, what's it called, the evil dragon decided to rip Sanji apart. Mostly, a devil appears right now, kind of grabbing him away from those 5 evil dragons, which they were pissing instantly and wanted to actually rip that kind of bitch or whoever the hell appeared. This is where, well, their eyes managed to keep track of the person, but the person managed to use a magical kind of smoke screen to try to block out their kind of view. Which they did still have the energy and bloodthirstiness, but they still wanted to know more about why Issei seems to be different. This is where they get to the class which Issei will be at, because they even had the same classroom before he even left. They see Issei right now reading a book and seem not to care about anyone who is keep looking at him confusedly, thinking that he's a new student. The girls are blushing, while the guys, some of them are kind of glaring at Issei. 2 people are actually glaring at the kind of prey boy, the new prey boy. They're thinking, this is where, well, people kind of just sit down because the teacher came, and the teacher says, okay, everyone, I need you to sit down. We have, we have class to start. That's where one person raised her hand, and it was a girl saying, what about the new student? That's where she pointed towards mostly where Issei Haidu old spot would be at, but this person is now sitting there. This is where the person right now looks at, well, the person and says, huh, a new student? What's your name, dude? Or, what's your name, kid? This is where, well, the person stands up, and of course, he seems to be tall, and seems to be somewhere around 21 because of his looks. This is where, well, the teacher widened his eyes, thinking that this is probably a grown man. The person says, I'm a return student. I'm basically don't care about announcing shit, and I really don't give a damn. But if you really want to know my name is Issei. Issei, yeah, just Issei. This is where everyone widened their eyes, except for the kind of new transformingly evil dragon sacred gear users, who are kind of just still shocked, but still mostly just looking at Issei being different. This is where, well, Issei just looked completely fucking dope, dripped out, and just different entirely. This is where, well, someone calls up Issei Haidu, or mostly Issei Hyodo, or whatever, Issei towards the office, which Issei gets annoyed about that last name, but whatever. Issei was about to start leaving until he actually gave what's called the evil dragons a command to probably hurt and beat the shit out of his old friends. They actually managed to hear it through mostly the telepath, which I were confused, and this is where they didn't question it too much, because the guy who was named Noct kind of has a very evilish, thirsty kind of battleground because he didn't finish Sanji. Now, of course, this is where, well, mostly Issei knew about Sanji being actually saved by none other than the devils. He doesn't care. If he had to kill Sona, he will. He would probably have to kill a bitch. He doesn't care. But again, he did made a promise, so of course he probably won't kill them. He probably just tell how foolish they are, but yeah. We go into Issei kind of getting towards mostly the office, the old, well, mostly the president's office, thinking that Sanji might be here already, and he's angry and thinking to kicking out Issei, or probably calling the Lucifer on him or whatever bullcrap. And this is where, when he opens it, he sees Sona, which is surprising because Sona should be probably in college, but not really. This is where, well, Issei kind of just sits down, and this is where, well, Sona sees Issei and Issei sees Sona. This is where, well, both of them just glance at each other. This is where, well, Sona coughs into her hand and says, do you know why I call you here? Issei said, it's probably from the fact that I was about to murder Sanji, or probably kick him to the fucking 9 realms of hell. Probably about to kick him straight to the moon. But who cares? No one really cares, do they? That's the right one. Mostly, Sona says, no, 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 no. That's not the reason and why I call you here. I call you here is because where have you been and why have you been missing school? So where Issei said, where have I been? Well, I've been in a different dimension. You see here, I've been in a different dimension just being, well, myself. No need to be a devil, no need to be anything. I'm just a free dragon. A free, powerful dragon that doesn't need to be under these stupid rules. So yeah, that's where, well, Sona says that doesn't explain anything. Different dimension, stupid. Issei said with such a very angry tone, and the fact that Sona didn't hear that. Sona narrowed her eyes and swear, well, she says, okay, fine, I heard it. But, why were we in a different dimension? Good question. Don't know. Don't care to ask. Well, don't care to answer neither. Sona narrowed her eyes, seeing how Issei's tone and mostly attitude is different. This is where, mostly someone behind him actually was about to grab his head. Mostly someone reddish hair trying to kind of make him like answer questions. But before even doing that, her hand was literally grabbed by Issei, and Issei said, touch me and I break your arm. This is where the person went in her eyes, and this is where, well, mostly she backed off in an instantly. This is where Issei noticed a barrage of what's called the devils. He also noticed, what's it called, Catherine and even more Elma there. He didn't give two damns. This is where, well, he just said, what exactly do you want, devil? He points at Sona. Yeah, Sona. Sona says, I want to, how should I say, I want to know, how powerful are you even without mostly T-Drake? Issei glares at her with a murderous glare and says, wow, so you just expected my friend to just be some tool I use against battle? Why I did use it freely on character, at least I want. But at the same time, dragons aren't tools. That just pisses me off, you devil. Do you want to die? You see right now, bloodlust is kind of releasing from his body. This is where Sona says, this is where, well, before anything happens, Issei's phone started ringing in an instant. Right now, putting the theme song mostly, so the song was actually played, mostly his theme song was basically called, Somewhere I Belong by LSD, feature Robin Adams in the, yeah, you get the point. This is where, well, Issei hears his phone ringing, and this is where, well, he doesn't just like answer it, and this is where, well, he hears a kind of like, mostly all of them hears kind of this female voice, but except Issei kind of has his ear. Well, mostly he has it towards his ear, and he hears it clear. This is where, well, Issei said, yes. This is where, well, someone said, so, Issei-kun, so where exactly are your, well, where exactly is the town that I have to go? Or not go, are you in exactly? Issei says, oh, you know Tokyo. Issei, don't lie to me. She was, it's Issei. This is where Issei said, okay, fine. I'm in the Dragon Kingdom. This is where, Issei, Dragon Bed. Issei, I'm not, you're still trying to get me into your bed? Maybe. This is where he says so a very chuckful, kind of evilish kind of smirk on his face, which every girl is confused, but they did kind of hear what he said, which made them kind of fluster. This is where, well, the person in the other line sighs and says, no, Issei, just tell me where exactly you're at. So, what exactly do you want me to do? Give you my location and then you will kind of show up and be in my bed? Well, okay, I'll tell. This is where she's like, no, I'm not talking about that. Just give me your location. Fine, I'm in Kuwo. Good. It's near, yeah, it's near Tokyo, but it's in a small town. I can rise up my energy for you to actually find it. No, I already found it. I didn't really even, well, I didn't really need to get your context, but it's nice to kind of know that you're actually kind of accepting this part of yourself. Even though I hate it. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be there in only a couple of seconds. This is where, well, he says, what do you mean? This is where, well, A purplish gate actually appears behind him, in which everyone gets on guard except for Issei. He just kind of just narrows his eyes, and this is where someone appears. A beautiful female. This is where, well, everyone just gets jealous at her beauty because she is quite beautiful. And this is where, well, Issei mostly just like narrow his eyes somewhere else. Well, kind of narrows him because he actually sees Sanji, and Sanji is right now drooling. This is where, well, Issei said, huh, you're still here. Issei appears right now, kicking him right in the face, knocking the shit out. Issei says, you pathetic weakling, don't drool at my girlfriend. This is where, well, mostly, well, the person blushes a little bit, mostly hearing and how Issei said it. This is where, well, most of the girl sighs and says, Issei, how many times have I told you not to hurt people? Oh, come on. You know you like, no, I don't. Issei sighs and says, yeah, I know. But still, you realize I'm a dragon. I'm the dragon successor of my own kind of predecessor. And you realize that I was trained to be brutal as hell. I can't change back to being a normal human, can I? That's where other person sighs and says, no, you cannot. Not too fast. Well, so this is Kuo. Interesting. This is Kuo, yeah, Kuo High School or whatever the hell it's called. Kuo Academy. Interesting. This will be the school that I'm gonna go to. Wait, what do you mean? Aren't you in South Korea? Aren't you in just that one school? Oh, I was. I decided to move and transfer all the way over here. Why? So I can be closer and keeping an eye on you from killing people? Issei sighs and says, damn. Fine. You can do that. This is where Issei then gets closer to her and kind of grabs her hand and say, ah, besides, you can do that, my beautiful queen. If that also means that you will be closer to me. In mostly school and also in my room, wouldn't that be nice? This is where her face becomes red, and this is where she then says, no, I'm just keeping an eye on you from killing people, okay? Issei said, fine. But I'm gonna enjoy you kind of being in my bed. I'm gonna be sleeping somewhere else. Is it right? Issei said, aw, come on, don't be so rude to me like that. Please, don't be so mean to me. Mostly he says her name, and her name is basically... So her name is Danjang, and she's actually basically a Korean name, but yeah, it's basically a Korean name because she's Korean. And this is where, well, mostly Issei says, don't be so mean to me, Danjang-chan. I really, really want that child from you. This is where, well, mostly Danjang's face becomes even more red, and he says, shut up, Issei. Don't say that out loud. You said that you were going to keep that a secret. This is where Issei said, oh, who cares? These are just devils. Who really cares about them? This is where, well, everyone blushed in an instant after hearing the fact that Issei really just wants to have a child with this girl. And not gonna lie, he probably will, because both of them seem to be mostly acting like a little bit like lovers. This is where, well, the girl seems to be blushing around Issei while, well, Issei seems to be quite flirty around her. And of course, quite different from his normal aura. This is where, well, quite overprotective also, because when he kicked the shit out of Sanji, it was personal. It wasn't just out of petty revenge, but this time it was very angry and annoyed from the fact that this person was drooling at his girlfriend. This is where, well, she also has a very powerful, deadly aura just like Issei's, but both of them are kind of contained. This is where, well, Issei's aura went back to normal after a while, but his aura is quite ferocious destruction, while the girl's aura is quite deadly and mostly like sinister and death itself. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of puts his arm around mostly, well, the girl's waist. And of course, this is where, well, they would have been the same height. It's just one is 6'3" and the other one is 6'5". So of course, they don't know how to react to it. Mostly Issei's aura being destruction itself, while, well, the other one being death itself. Is like a match made in Gotham on a fucking where. Everyone kind of is confused and scared a little bit because Issei's aura spiked up to being evilish. This is where, well, we go into, we'll see, Issei said, so, are you going to stay in my school? Yes. Are you going to be the only girl that actually loves me? This is where, well, the girl says, yes, of course. Who do you think I'm gonna love? Your ex kind of boyfriends? Huh, no. They're all quite pathetic and weakling. They won't be able to even get me anywhere. This is where, well, Issei grins and says, I know, because the only person that can actually get you to be quite pleasurous is me. This is where, well, she kind of just smacked him and mostly kind of punched him in the shoulder and says, shut up already. Issei says, ow, that hurt it. Fine, I'll shut up. But can we please? Fine, just one time, okay? This is where, well, Issei says, good. Don't worry, I'll make that one time last a little bit longer until I make sure you get. No, Issei. This time you're gonna wear protection. Issei kind of says, come on. This is where, well, Issei said with such a kind of annoying pout tone, but yeah. This is where every girl thought it would be cute, but then again, his energy is quite sinister and different. So yeah, they can't really say much things. This is where, well, at the same time, they're somewhat jealous because Issei's personality might change for either the better or the good, but mostly it sounds pretty bad, not good at all, but yeah. But this is where, well, both Issei and the girl decide to start walking away because, well, Issei doesn't really care about the devil, they can go fuck off. And mostly the other girl seems to really care less about the supernatural, but yeah. They get out of the room and, of course, are walking away, but yeah. This is where, well, everyone is just confused and dumbfounded and shocked, but yeah. But other than that, I'm gonna leave it off here because I'm actually getting quite tired and my eyes, I'm gonna keep closing them. But yeah. Bye, see you, and bye.